we rolling?
Oh, yeah, let me get my dice. That's probably important.
Oh, I forgot that I have a new dice bag now.
Dice bag?
Nice.
That's cool. How many dice fit in this bag?
A lot.
Oh, cool.
I am very much not even remotely. It fits about a whiskey-sized bottle of dice.
That's a tremendous amount
How
of
big
dice.
a bottle of whiskey are we talking?
A bottle of Blanton's specifically, so 750 milliliters in a roughly grenade shape.
Ooh, I'm not going to lie. I'm rolling rough. I'm trying to figure out what dice I'm going to use. And it's not looking good either way.
I've rolled my recap resistance roll.
Hey, should I do red or blue?
Red, because you're a fiery lass.
I'm going with blue because Pat
Get
said
fucked.
so.
I got an 18.
I got a 19.
I also
What?
got a 19.
What?
I swear to fucking
No,
God.
guys! I got a
No.
16!
Yes!
Fuck all of you guys! God damn, I rolled this 16 before any of y'all. And I'm like, I'm safe. I'm sitting pretty up on top. I'm like Ryan a few episodes when I picked him at a 19.
So I'm really glad that
I feel betrayed.
You went
I
with
went
the
with
blue.
well, I chose blue, and then I rolled them both at
my
the same time anyway, and the red
Uh-huh.
rolled a 5. So
You're welcome, Matt.
thanks, Pat.
All
And
right.
get fucked, Colin.
Yeah. I don't know what I did to deserve Pat's animosity, but here we are.
Well, you picked red and you were wrong, so get fucked.
Okay. So, recap time. Last episode. Right, there's not a title for it yet. I'm used to doing breakaways. So, last episode, we were in a room with a big Djinn and 4 little Djinns, and we found out little Djinns are Angie boys and big Djinn is dead boy. So, we go back in time. We have maybe one of the most disconcerting hostage situations I've experienced as a consumer of entertainment. And the big Djinn was like, hey, y'all are some nice dudes. Have some magic rings. And that was the end of the episode.
Yeah. Did we ever figure out what those magic rings did?
I assume, given context clues based on what Arlen said, that they are going to protect us from debabification.
Last thing the Djinn said to you before becoming a cloud and just clouding off is...
Yo, he's got the clout.
Guys, I'm going to be late to recording. I'm in the middle of clouding off right now.
Excuse me, my bros. I have some precipitation to take to take care of.
do not lose those rings. They will protect you from corrupted time.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I have crystal
feel-
rings in my inventory.
Yeah.
I think the first thing that we should do is take a little time and cast Identify to actually figure out exactly what these bad boys do.
Well, hang on a second. Assuming Bait sees you start to sit down and put this thing in like a burlap sack, is going to say, wait, hang on a second. Maybe we jump back to the period in time where there aren't a bunch of people on the other side of the door, huh?
Are there people on the side of the door?
We're still in the past, so yeah, we barricaded the door.
Open the door!
Okay, I feel pretty vindicated.
Wait, didn't
Okay.
we knock everybody out? Aren't we here like secretly?
Yeah, we took out everyone inside
On the
of this
inside,
room and
Oh,
barricaded
gotcha,
the
gotcha.
door.
You barred the door and everyone in the room is, aside from you guys, is dead. Except for Stev. He's still rolling on the ground in pain going, dying!
Dying! There's a piece of me that wants to, like, at the same time that we crystal out, I like crack the containment on one of these Djinn. But you know what? I think it's going to be safer to not do that.
Yeah, big time. Bait's just gonna palm a crystal and eye everyone around and just be like,
Sure.
Okay. Bait does it. Bait is going to cast a first level spell. There goes my slot. And we are in the sad present.
Okay, well, now I need you to take that sound effect, and that's what we're using every time we change.
I have to go back. I have to go back
You gotta
and
make
edit
it
all
dreamy.
the meant to be episodes now.
You don't have to edit the old ones just from now on. That's the sound.
If I could get a take from everyone, I'll just layer them on top of each other, and that's our sound.
Oh God. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it a lot. So I'm assuming that future space looks slightly different considering there is not a crusty boy in a chair.
The giant motherfucker ain't there anymore. You see Arlen, he's just kind of looking off into space.
Arlen, did you remember there being a large individual, like right here, and I'm pointing at the general vicinity?
It's funny. When you guys went to the past and met past me, I suddenly gained memories of meeting you guys in the past. And in this situation, memories are coming to me again of going to the spire, seeing what happened there.
Interesting.
Hang on. Could you maybe just lay out what's going to happen? That might be pretty helpful, honestly. If these are new memories and you can, discern that, maybe can you see what we're about to experience? Give us some pointers, a little peek into the future.
A little.
Yeah.
Hey, DM, would you just tell us what happened?
Hey, he's giving me an in-fiction reason. I'm asking the question.
Since we've got time, while you're figuring all this stuff out, I'm just going to start ritually casting Identify on these crystal rings so I can get some.
Also, I would like to note for the record that laugh was like Arlen and doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's trying to be like wise Gandalf, oh, you dumb little stupid fucking idiot. Of course your life sucks.
Oh, Pippin, you piece of shit.
So do all who live to see such times, but get fucked, motherfucker. You're a dumbass bitch.
I talked with one of the scientists. She spoke to me of her suspicions. I confronted the Emperor.
You what, the Emperor? Sorry, couldn't hear you there. What?
I went to the spire. I saw the Emperor. And there, in my fury, I destroyed the machine and...
Yeah, Bait turns to Locke and is like, okay, beef aside, is this guy getting, more maniacal than you're comfortable with? Because he's getting more maniacal than I am comfortable with.
What machine did you destroy?
Tears streaming down his face. I was aiming for the Emperor, but I missed. I don't know what that machine was. All I know is I threw a sphere. It broke, and suddenly an explosion. Oh, explosion would be putting it lightly.
Do you guys think that he caused the tear by destroying this machine?
Well, I mean, we also don't know if whatever the thing that churned all the land also caused the tear, but I think suffice it to say, whatever we're about to find is, the dangerous thing that killed everybody I ever knew and loved. So I'm feeling pretty bad about that.
Are there any windows in this laboratory?
No, we're deep in the castle, right?
Yeah, deep underground, yeah.
I was going to say, can we just look out the window and see what it looks like?
Yeah. I think Bait is going to be like, we've got these rings. The spirit that gave them to us told us they will protect us from corrupted time. I understand you might be going through some sort of a breakdown, but based on what you're saying, I feel all the more urgency to try to get to that salt spire and find whatever the Admiral wanted, because sounds bad.
Corrupted time? Well, that's what I was talking about. You'd be practically swimming through this stuff on the way to the spire.
Wait, I have an idea. Another one.
Bait turns his eyes from Arlen to Maeve.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say, maybe if I gave you this little ring here, maybe you'd feel a little better and a little less, what's the word? Crazy? And,
Timey-wimey?
No.
Bait will turn his eyes back to Arlen and just say, listen, anything you can tell us will be helpful. I see this weighs on you heavily, but we're about to go to the place you are recalling. I have no idea if your memories hold or what. The logic on this is so wildly inconsistent that I can't keep up.
That's just time, man.
Are you criticizing me, or are you?
No. This is Bait marveling. Colin understands that you're that this is inherently not a logically tight time travel set of rules for good reason, but Bait has given up trying to understand what's happening and is just appealing to Arlen's, humanity. Elfmanity? Humelftity.
Humelftity, yes. Sure.
The fuck? Humilftity.
And we did it.
We did it. We won, guys. We won podcasting.
Well, you're meddling in the past. Had the Emperor decide he wanted to see the spire ahead of time, he went there. At some point, a riot broke out. And in the hustle and bustle, I went there.
Was it a riot about taxation?
Bait tries to shirt Locke no, don't, don't do it.
It's a fair question.
I just want to know for where we have to go back to.
With that scientist's suspicions, I couldn't ignore the red flags any longer. I went to the spire. There, he was doing something. I suppose starting up the machine. And, well, I told you the rest.
So, wait a minute. When I know you say you don't know what the machine did, but, the world used to look pretty nice where you and I lived, and now it looks like a giant steaming shithole. Did your interference with the machine cause that particular transition?
I think so. I think this is all my fault.
Bait looks to the others for help in a moment of lacking empathetic skills.
You know what? You know what we need to do? Let's just go to the spire like we were told to do on, the beginning of this thing.
Yeah. Tell you what.
I had to resist so hard to say at the beginning of this,
Yeah. Yeah.
at the beginning of this adventure.
With Maeve's little help there,
I'm a big help.
Bait turns to Arlen, extends a hand, and says, "We need to go there anyways. Maybe you'll find what you need along the way to forgive yourself." I feel like we've all had a little bit of that on this adventure. Not Locke. I don't think he has anything to be sorry for. Top marks on that guy.
And me, I have nothing to be sorry for. I've been a good boy.
Do you remember what happened just a few minutes ago with the finger? No, okay. Do you want to come with us, Arlen?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Has my identify finished at this point?
Yes.
What do them ring do?
What do them ring do? Protecting from corrupted time. What it does is basically the weird janky ass thing that happens on the way to the spire doesn't affect you.
Oh, okay. These should. The Djinn was right. These should protect us from any form of temporal timey-wimey mishaps.
Looking at his ring, Bait then says, the waters that we saw coming into the aisle before the Admiral threw us over, the waters seem to be frozen with people stuck inside them. The Admiral may not know that those things won't affect us. We might get to have our little bit of revenge after all.
Yes, these timey-wimey rings should protect us from such things.
I really like you pushing that timey-wimey angle. You're really not letting that go.
I don't.
Well,
Let's go.
I identified them, and that was their given name by the
I
Djinn.
feel like we're going to get sued by BBC at some point.
It's always wise to double-check an offering from a Djinn, and it was a pretty good one.
So, Arlen, what's the fastest way to the spire from here?
Follow me.
Okay.
And, he starts leading you out. And as he takes you towards the castle, you can hear various time lock zombies kind of going, "Emperor, you're going to the spire so soon, and make sure the Emperor's okay."
Question: are they talking to themselves like they always do, or are they talking to Arlen?
Yeah, good question.
Where's their attention directed towards?
They are directing it just to none of you guys. They're just kind of imagine they're all walking around a sort of center point, moving center point. Someone's in the middle and they're walking and talking kind of thing.
Okay.
Do we, by any chance, spot Mackenzie?
Mackenzie? Yeah, sure. Mackenzie is around. He's still walking around going, "Why did I come to this?"
Is Mackenzie the weird gnome that tried to true serum us?
That was Yanoa. Mackenzie was the one that we...
Oh, yeah.
That was the one that Locke implicated, but Locke is innocent and wouldn't do anything wrong.
To be fair, he was...
Was that wrong? I don't see how that was wrong.
As we're walking by Mackenzie, I think I'm gonna say, all right, maybe Locke's got some, maybe got a dark side too.
Mackenzie, no. That was totally and 100% a good thing to do because the Mage Lords are
Mackenzie
bad.
was
Mackenzie was such a little shit. I had to do it to him, and he already got his revenge on me. We're fine. It's even.
How did he get his revenge on you?
By leading us to the goddamn big Oompa Loompa fucking
That wasn't intentional at all.
Stuck together.
Locke, I said one thing. You're becoming pretty unhinged.
Just because
That's such a
it
slight
wasn't intentional.
provocation.
Hold on. Revenge does not have to be intentional. It just has to even the score, and it happened.
This is all Locke is saying this, right? This is Locke talking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Kalt comes up. I get it, buddy. I'm vengeance too, and I'm gonna
No
walk
Batman.
forward. I'm vengeance.
Bait's just gonna try to hustle up to Arlen in a bit and be like, God, man, I wish you hadn't thrown that spear. Shit's gotten so fucked since you did that.
Thank God that I thought you were about to say, "Oh, Bait transforms into a bat," just to fit with like the mood of everything going on here. Thank God you didn't do that.
Bait transforms into a sociopath.
You know what, Bait? Without that, maybe you never would have fallen out of that tree in the first place, too.
True.
You had the collar on.
Oh, that is also true.
I mean,
Many
yeah,
truths being
sure.
spoken at the same time.
Anyways,
the case I'm making is that falling out of the tree and everything else that's happened to me on this adventure has been mostly bad.
Yeah, your life sucks.
Yes.
It couldn't have happened to a better person, if I'm going to be honest. But
Appreciate it.
you know, you're the type for it. That's all I gotta say. Arlen, quick question, Arlen. How long would you say it is to the Salt Spire?
A few hours.
And I'm gonna look to the group. Should we take a short or a longer rest before we get there? You know, I assume whatever we're going to encounter there is going to be spicy.
I agree, but on the other hand, I don't really want to stop because it seems the timetable, whether caused by us or not, has accelerated, and I don't want to see what happens if we go through a loop of this bullshit.
All right. This is a side question for Chowder, the DM. If we're walking and nothing happens, could we be like walking at a leisure pace and maybe take a short rest as we go?
There is enough time for a long rest. You can take a long rest and then go to the spire.
that works too.
Yeah, because I mean, either way.
All right. Bait is persuaded by Kalt for the first time ever.
I'm a little bit tired. I could very much use a nappy.
Let's take that nappy once we're outside of the castle.
I know that you, Bait, have used all of your aminominal forms for today, so you're probably quite tired.
I'm fucking exhausted for so many reasons.
Why does everybody look at me weird when I say aminominal?
I'm gonna let you figure that one out. You're a wise fella or an intelligent fella. I've never really been able to figure out which.
Both.
I would like to only consent to the group rest once we are fully outside the castle and like maybe even outside the city, because I know the city's full of fellas, and we could probably get just outside the northern walls and.
Yeah, that's fine.
Actually, would I recall any like safe?
I thought we were just following Arlen. I assumed that he was just going to show us.
Arlen knows the way.
He'll definitely know better.
Yeah, so like the location of the Salt Spire Tower is like, on one end of the castle is like the city, the other end is the Salt Spire. The castle's in between the two. Between the castle and the Salt Spire is just like a long field and path. So like once you're out of the castle, you can just set up camp before the spire.
Sick.
Are we doing that?
Sounds fine to me.
Sounds great. Let's set up camp. What do I have in my inventory? Do I have like a fucking kick-ass bindle? Like what do I have?
Arlen takes you guys to a set of large gates, and he says like, through those doors is the way to Salt Spire. With a little help from the whole group, you manage to open the door. And, like, before you, a field, and, like, you can see way off in the distance, the Salt Spire. And and the field is...
God, it felt like we were in that castle for months.
Good one, mate. We've only been here for about 2 hours, though.
Yeah, kind of, I mean,
more than...
Yeah, basically, more because
hours.
of all the times that we fell asleep and I got hit with a book. But generally, kinda.
So,
kinda.
Yeah, so, like, the field is, like, absolutely weird because, like, you can, like, actually see the grass growing backwards, like it is growing but turning into seeds and then
Shrinking?
It's rewinding?
yes.
Oh my god, Benjamin Button grass over here. Okay.
Yeah. Like, and the sky is like, turning night to day in like 5 times the speed of like what it would normally be, and also backwards, Benjamin buttoning it up,
As we approach that, I am gonna look at Arlen and say, you aren't affected by the sort of crystal things. Without a ring, can you make it through this with us?
No, I actually can't. And there really are only enough crystals for, like, the party.
Oofda.
Well,
Okay.
Okay. So we're in this field right now, where the grass is like growing backwards, so to speak.
Yeah.
Can Arlen follow us into the fields? Was the purpose of asking my question.
Oh, no, he can't follow you into the fields. He
Okay.
like you're all just kind of standing in front of this field right now, and
Okay.
he's just...
It's the farthest away from home I've ever been.
I would like to take the ring off, but still kind of hold in my hand and take a step forward, just to see what happens.
Oh, no. You get even younger.
I mean, you start to feel the effects. You start to like feel like, oh shit, I'm getting a little younger, and then like you step back away from the fucking field.
Okay.
well, I would not recommend that. Although, if you want to live forever, you could probably just, stay here.
It's true. For Maeve, that's a dangerous proposition. She doesn't have a whole lot of time to go in the reverse before.
Yeah.
like
Joke's on you. I've been here before.
I haven't. I really haven't.
Here the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, like what Maeve did was like touching a hot stove and being like kind of thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Keeping that sound forever.
I don't want to have to DM a baby.
Okay. Noted. I will.
Goo goo gaga.
We've dealt with it this far, Chowder. Come on. Maeve puts the ring back on. It's like,
Yeah, let's keep that on. I was thinking we could maybe help Arlen, maybe let him borrow a ring, but sorry.
Well, it seems like this is where we part for now. Who the hell knows how this is going to shake out?
Yes.
For now, though, there's something I want to do. And he turns away to leave you guys do your thing.
If that's including making pot shots at a ship in the distance that's parked, like, on the other side of the island, it'd be a good, like, A1, like, A+ type of thing to do.
Yeah, we have kind of moved on pretty fast from the fact that he did shoot me the hell up, didn't we?
I mean, I've shot you before, too, so...
Yeah, and y'all moved on faster from that than I would have liked to. Let's get going.
Because you've never done anything wrong.
and Maeve is just going to start walking forward with the ring on.
Burn. He's got owned by a 10-year-old.
I'm 9, actually.
Oh, that's even worse. She's not even double digits yet, Bait.
She's 10.
Bait is just rubbing his temples. We have emerged from the castle at long last. Oh, my goodness gracious. I hope that you are more excited about this moment than Bait is, as we make our way into Chapter 65 of Dicey Waters, Ethics Convention, a title that Patreons were deadlocked on for quite some time before finally tilting the scales in this direction. I did not think this was going to be the name of the episode, but I'm very glad because it's what I voted for. The name will become evident in the back half of the episode because, boy howdy, this episode is going places that you cannot predict. But I think once we've gotten there, you'll be like, yeah, no, that makes sense. That was inevitable. I have a couple quick housekeeping things before we dive right in. Obviously, we are in Season of the Origins, a new season for our community, whose name will become more and more clear as we progress through the season. Just to give you an idea of what this season is going to look like in terms of mainline episodes, this is the first of 3 episodes of Meant to Be that you'll be hearing. We are wrapping up this, what is undeniably our longest story, most character-driven, most mechanically complex, most ambitious adventure so far, is going to conclude with Chapter 67 in the middle of May. So this, you got 2 more episodes after it before we say goodbye to Chowder's absolutely wonderful adventure. And we are going to have a few special surprises I'm cooking up for you between then and the beginning of the final adventure, which will be next season. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it, but we got plenty of goodness coming toward you just in the next couple of months. Now, on the Patreon side of things, this weekend we've got another episode of Entrenched. The Last Bastion still making their way around Sharn, trying to figure out what's going on with Dasha and the Rook. And if you don't know what any of this means, you should hop on over to our Patreon. Entrenched is a full bonus podcast that we produce. Its own music, its own sound effects, its own vibe, all run by Ryan. So you can trust it goes a little crazy sometimes. It goes a little nutsaroo, and it is an absolute delight to do that little extra show. Beyond Entrenched or Patreon, obviously, you can do title polls for episodes as we let patrons select names. But we also have a few more things in the pipeline for this season in particular. As we wrap up Meant to Be, we'll have a little more bonus content. I have some behind-the-scenes stuff, maybe some more director's commentaries. Chowder and I are cooking up a few extra things, so if you have thought about maybe I'll hop on over to Patreon, see what I can do to help these folks out. The most we ever ask for is $5 a month. It's $2 and $5. So if you want to support, we try to make it very affordable, and it has allowed us to, I have overhauled so many behind the scenes things over this past season. Thanks to Patreon. 20% of our income always goes to charity. Previously, the Trevor Project, and next to the WHO Medical Relief Fund for Ukraine. But it is also allowing us to overhaul so many systems that are making this production easier and faster. So it's allowing us to do better sounding things, more engaging things. And we really hope that you guys are feeling that value. One last thing on the Patreon front, we love to shout out new patrons that enter the fold. So I'm going to give Astrul Bijun a big warm welcome to the Patreon family. Thank you so much for contributing. And hey, if you were the one that tipped the title poll vote over to Ethics Convention, you have my sincere thanks. Last thing I want to touch on before I get you right back into this whiplash of an episode is the new community project. Last season, Ray, our moderator, put together a community project that was a coloring book featuring 20 original works of art based on the podcast, some by me, most of them not by me, by people that are way better at art than me. You can download that PDF on dicepopuli.com, import it into a coloring app, print it on paper, whatever you want. It is a delight. I've started coloring a few things myself when I'm feeling particularly stressed, and it brings me great joy. However, our next project, as you may have heard me mention in the 5W last week, is a little more dungeon-oriented, community dungeon, in fact, as we are going to be taking submissions for specific rooms and encounters. We were a little vague on the details last week because we had to sort out some logistics, but on dicepopuli.com, you can find a news post that tells you how we are accepting these submissions. The idea is anyone who has an idea for a single room or an encounter in a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition dungeon can submit it to us. And at the end of the season, we'll put all the pieces together like a puzzle and put it out as a free PDF for people to consume and enjoy. We may even run some bonus content with it ourselves. But if you're ever in a drought for one-shot content or want to beef up an existing adventure, a free dungeon is a pretty great way to do that. The submissions are going to be pretty easy. There will be a form there. You can say, I've got a room. This is what the room looks like. This is what in it. And this is what I want to happen. You can be super detailed and provide all these custom stat blocks, or you could simply say, it's a big square room with a lot of dogs in it. And if you pet all the dogs, you get a treat. It is super accessible to a super wide range of things. I think we've come up with a format that will allow us to accept all those kinds of submissions and put them into a very equal playing field where everyone's ideas can be represented in a very fun way. I love this idea. I'm very excited about this idea. And submissions for that are going to be opening a week from today. All the details, again, at dicepopuli.com. If you're listening to this far, far in the future, hey, go download the PDF on dicepopuli.com. If you're listening to this now, as I'm saying it, help us build the future. I think it's going to be great. So if you have any ideas, you got some time for them to gestate, and we will cobble them together for you. And that's all I've got. We're going to dive right back into this ethics convention. I'm not feeling so great, as you might be able to tell. I don't know how vervy I'm coming across, but I promise you, however I feel right now, Bait feels worse. Bye-bye. Bait is just, as we move forward, is going to look back at Arlen kind of fondly. Like, that's the first person from his home Bait has seen in memory. So he's kind of sad to see Arlen go, see Arlen left behind.
What do you guys do now?
Walk.
This is my book, motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right, I guess
Set up camp.
maybe try and find a good place to make camp, I would assume.
For sure.
All right.
That would be my guess.
I mean, do you have like camping gear with you?
Yeah, I have a mess kit, I have rations, I have a tinder box, I have a torch.
Yeah, I got a bunch of random crap in my bag.
I got a
my
bedroll.
bag of holding.
I got hemp and rope if we want to fucking blaze it.
So I assume you guys have the stuff to set up a camp, and
Yeah.
that's what you guys do. You know, nice little campfire, and you're all just sitting around, very exhausted, and if there's anything you want to do, if this were a video game, this is where like an NPC would be like, "Is there anything you want to do before the final thing that you can't turn back from?" Kind of deal.
Create an extra save of your game. We're gonna kill you a lot.
Don't worry. I do, in fact. So if you guys don't remember all the way back to Pat's game where I nuked a bunch of sailors and then put their bones in my bag, I've still got bones left over.
Oh,
so
God.
I'm going to
Do you
get...
have a bone to
Do
pick?
we have this skeleton crew?
I don't have the skeleton crew, but I use most of them, but I do have some remaining bones. Also, I've been keeping count of some of the bones I've been getting. But I think I have enough bones for 2 Skelly boys.
Hot
so I will cast as a
damn.
3rd level spell. I will animate dead on them. And they're a little bit buffed up. They have my proficiency bonus to damage, and they add my wizard level to their maximum HPs.
That's a huge buff.
The cool thing about being a necromancer is I can have an additional target when I cast animate dead, so I can do it for 2. But yeah, like a bunch of ash and like dirty bones. Like I'm just like upending my bag.
So
I think I've got enough for 2.
are you doing? I assume you're doing this after we've all rested and not as we're all trying to get to sleep and like eat.
Oh no, I'm doing it before everything because they'll be watching us as we sleep.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then you get the spell slots back, like after
Yeah,
rest.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
That's pretty fucking smart.
and animate dead, I think, lasts for 24 hours. So,
Oh shit, are they affected by the time nonsense?
oh, would they become backed into
Human
humans
again?
You're like seeing flesh unburn from their bodies, but you know they're not.
Bait has like just started to eat soup and turns around and just oh my god.
Well, that's a good question. So, if they're like kind of half fleshy, would they be skeletons or would they be like zombies?
They would be zombies. I guess they turn from skeletons to zombies.
Bait with like soup dripping down his face is like watching this horrific ritual unfold.
Jesus Christ, with the goddamn soup.
Where are you getting so much soup from?
I was making soup. We're setting up camp. I have the materials for soup, and I'm eating it, and it's just like...
Do you eat soup or drink soup?
I don't know. Colin hates soup. Colin thinks soup is not a food, but Bait is drinking soup, I guess.
We will revisit this later.
Yeah, I think we can table the soup issue.
I get so angry when people say I'm having soup for dinner. I get furious. But Bait is having soup for dinner, so I'll vent this out later.
Oh my God.
And like it's just like the hot soup like spilling down his face after like coughing, watching the horrible thing, turns over to Locke and is like, "Oh my God, dude, what the fuck? Like, I know I haven't been with you the whole time. What is happening?
I don't know.
You get used to it.
Do you?"
Yeah, I mean, what you're watching is like a thing unburn from skeleton form to, I guess maybe ash zombie. That might actually be appropriate. We're not going to go
I'm trying to find
all the way into, they are back to life. Just
Oh,
because
that'd be
Locke.
so sweet.
Locke 100% throws up after watching this happen.
Kalt is loving this. He is watching them with all the...
Bait is like, see, I'm not the only one. I don't want to... against it.
Oh, no. I do not... We're cutting
like
that. We are cutting that. That is
absolutely hated that.
Disgusting.
You're also like hearing like reversed screams, like.
Oh my god.
So, you know.
Bait just puts his soup down on a rock and walks like 50 feet away.
I mean, listen to a person who's burning to death scream and then reverse it, and you get what these things, the sound these things are making.
Cole?
Yeah, plug in my ears, just like, this is terrible.
Cole, can you stop this? This isn't very cool.
It's called the Circle of Life.
No, this
And
is
nobody can stop it.
This is like an oval of doom.
Simba.
You hear from an actual druid from the circle 50 feet away scream, that's not the fucking circle of life, you dipshit! Stop it!
I'm gonna, like, cover one of Maeve's ears and put the other one next to my body and just start, like, humming to myself to try to drown out the noise.
You know what? Fine. Bones Jones. Would you happily...
Bonesy and Jonesy?
Would you happily walk about 30 or 40 feet away? Thank you very much. That's good. You're good now.
Okay, so assuming all that is settled when they walk away, Bait's gonna... Jesus fucking Christ.
So mechanically it does matter. Are they zombies or they're skeletons, Chowder?
Zombies now. They are zombies.
Oh man, it's going to be great.
All right.
It's almost like having Jerry back again.
So Bones and Jones are off in the distance. What do the rest of you do?
Yeah, that was a really long 6 months in that castle, so I'm just gonna, bye.
Maeve is just gonna go right to sleep.
I guess that leaves Locke, Kalt, and Bait sitting by the fire.
Well, I feel like I'm getting a little bit of heat. No pun intended for bringing back the Ash zombies. And, like, I don't understand why everybody's trying to harsh my mellow.
I guess I'm not super well versed in, like, the real ethics of it, but, like, there's something about watching this kind of transformation and, like, the grotesqueness, and, like, we can still sort of hear the screams, even though they're kind of far away. Locke, like, is this hitting you the way it's hitting me? Because it feels bad.
I'm gonna go look back at where I threw up.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, that was very difficult to perceive, Called.
I mean, the circle of life. The circle of life can be difficult to behold.
You, Kalt, have I don't want to say obsession, but a level of understanding about the dead and all of the things that make them tick that most people do not share. And most people find it very disconcerting, particularly those who are very young. And I will gesture over to the sleeping Maeve. So we just need to maybe do that with a sense of tact in the future.
To be fair.
And also with, like, less big, smiley giggling, maybe.
I mean, this is very exciting for me. Usually when I make a skeleton, it stays a skeleton.
See, like, the smile is audible in your voice.
Call.
But
Baby,
also,
I love it.
Listen. The undead are just a tool. You guys are wearing leather right now. That you are wearing the skin of a dead being given new purpose as armor. I have taken the bones of a dead person, very similar, and I've given it new purpose. I've taken a hollow vessel and given it a spark of life,
Okay,
and now it is a useful
I turned
tool.
into a bird, and I told the Black Tide where Locke was so that we could get a Tide Pod and make our way out of here. But y'all don't seem pretty jazzed about that, do ya? Huh?
Well, what does that have to do with leather and creating something from the husk of something
I'm just
that is
saying,
dead?
no matter how you want to spin the ethics, Locke is very reasonably pissed at me and somehow hasn't snapped my spine. Thank you.
Well, to be fair,
inches further away.
I was not friends with these cultists. I barely
Correct,
knew them.
Kalt. You are someone who is more of a utilitarian, I will say. You see things for their use.
Yes,
not necessarily.
I use every part of the cultist.
Right. That is totally fine. But there are some people who, if they were shown the method with which leather armor is made, might consider going for chainmail instead.
That's true.
It's all about the optics.
Do you know that in some ancient ways of crafting leather, poop was used? And people don't like poop, but I feel like you guys are turning your nose up at my flaming skeletons over here.
But then again, this is just where consideration comes into play, because I lived around animals. I was practically just like swimming in poop every day. It's nothing
you know what?
to me.
There has never been a statement that made more sense coming out of your mouth.
Bait laughs at that too.
We're not saying that we don't want you to use your skills, your particular set of skills, to help. We are just simply saying, please do it further away from us so that we don't have to experience it ourselves.
For someone who seems to be on a crusade for friends, you seem very obstinate about the fact that you don't need to compromise in your behavior around them. Like there needs to be an overlap there, and I don't think you're getting that. And that's coming from me.
Listen, I didn't mean for this to happen. This is what we call in the biz a happy little accident.
No, you were way too happy about this little accident. And I think that's kind of part of this. Like, I lost a lot of good soup on this one, and you were just so chuffed.
I mean, everybody loves the skeleton crew. Everybody loves Jerry. I was just trying to bring a piece of that back with us.
After a moment of somber silence, Bait is going to ask Locke, do you love Jerry?
Kalt zeroes in, like narrows his eyes very, just like staring extremely intently at Locke.
I have a lot of appreciation for Jerry. Jerry's got us out of a lot of situations. He's a valued member of the party. He is someone that I have a certain fondness for, I would say, if that equates to what you mean.
Bait looks surprised.
Exactly. He's a good boy. He's a good man. He's a good boy.
And are you Kalt content with that level of relationship with other people? Is just they're useful sometimes.
No, Jerry is not useful sometimes. He's useful all the times.
I feel like I'm like, I know I should not be the one to Locke. I know I'm not the one that should be talking really in this particular instance, but I just don't think that there's really much penetrating this particular worldview, you know?
No, Jerry is more than just a blunt object by which I stamp on others in the world. He has a certain intellect. He's a good boy. You know, he's a bit of a son figure.
He follows directions ridiculously well, I'll tell you that.
I want to roll insight on that so bad to figure out what it.
That is,
you can roll insight and he can roll deception.
Kalt is being 100% forthright.
Not necessarily honesty, but like trying to pick up, like, this is the first time that Kalt has really mentioned like fatherhood, sonhood in like a positive way, and like Bait is picking up on that and just wants to dig deeper but doesn't know how in conversation, and just kind of like squints at Kalt and lets it go.
You know, it's hard sometimes, being by yourself. Sometimes you wish you could make yourself, your friend, and I've found a way to make a friend.
Well,
it's no different than people who own pets.
Exactly. Just he's a little stinkier than a dog.
Yeah, but as both of you have very clearly voiced, if you just try to treat your friends like a tool, it's not going to go over very well, is it?
I have never treated any of my friends as a tool.
When asked to describe friends, and also Jerry, you can only describe them by their functions.
Jerry is a good boy. He is a good companion. He is a friend. Now, Bones and Jones, they are crude instruments by which we will either protect or attack. I have no, at least at this point, who knows, maybe I'll become friends with Bones and Jones. It's very early on in the relationship. They do scream a lot, which I think is disruptive to conversation, but...
Yeah, and on all this, I'm still not convinced you understand what real friends really are, maybe.
A friend is a person you can talk to or sit around a fire like this and debate ethics. Now,
Bates' eyes shoot-eyed shoot wide open, like, wait, are you categorizing behavior between you and I as friendly or indicative of friendship?
I mean, Bait, we're frenemies. I don't know how to put it any other way, but, we're friendly. Yeah, a frenemy.
You have a knack for portmanteaus.
Yeah, I would murder somebody for you, I'm sure, but it doesn't mean I won't want to murder you at various points in this adventure, and I thought about it pretty heavily.
Is it weird that this is kind of like the best I've felt in the either 2 hours or 87 days we've been on this island? I really don't know how to track it.
Campfires and talking around a campfire always brings out, those close friendships. Locke?
I agree, especially when you're thinking about life and all the travels that you've gone through to get to this particular position before a big event. It almost is a sense of grounding yourself.
Very true, very true. One question I'd like to ask you, Bait, did you ever apologize?
Bait's eyes are going to dart sideways to Locke. Listen, man.
He's just staring at you.
Upon realizing that Locke has been staring, he winces and re-braces and then looks over for full eye contact. I am so deeply sorry for the pains you may have endured at the hands of your captors. I did it in the best interest of all of us.
No. Yourself, be honest. Be honest when I'm making an apology.
Would you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to do this here. Rebrace, look back over. Including myself. And I was confident that we would be able to save and protect you. And I hope that makes you feel a little better.
Gotta be honest, it doesn't. I feel like if you had maybe clued me in on the plan from the get-go, I could have played along, maybe done a little bit of espionage while I was at the island or in captivity, and maybe tried to do a little bit of something from the inside myself. But Kira, go the fuck away.
Well, chalk that up to my own bad experiences. You never know how long someone's going to stay a friend.
It just, when you're using someone as bait, it would be nice to know.
I see what you did there. Okay. Yep.
I mean,
Nope,
speaking
that's
of
fair.
using somebody as a tool, I mean, I've been accused of using Bones and Jones as tools, but they are unthinking, unfeeling things. Locke is a feeling man, a loving man, a caring man.
Oh, I see where you're going.
And you used him as a tool when he could have been, not a tool. He could have been a companion. He could have been a companion.
Locke's just gonna not. Locke's gonna look over at Kalt and just give him an awkward thumbs up.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
It's very un-Jerry of you.
Bait is gonna just gulp and be like, Kalt, you
should see a doctor for that, dude.
Kalt, you are correct.
Well, yeah, I'm one of the smartest people in the world, so...
Bait ignores that statement, turns to Locke, extends a hand, and says, never again.
Locke will shake the hand.
Insight check.
Go ahead, roll it.
Oh, wait, shit, that's actually really good.
What? What'd you get?
I got a natural 19. What is that plus? Probably not much. I might be good at insight. I can't remember.
Okay. What are you rolling against exactly?
To see if I'm lying when I say I'll never do that again.
Oh.
+1, an unnatural 20.
A dirty 20.
Okay. You have surpassed my check. There is a sincerity in, the same sincerity that Bait always has when trying to, comfort people. But, you've also seen Bait, become very afraid and change his mind in stressful circumstances. But right now it's sincerity.
Kind of shakes his head. nods.
Oh my
So,
god.
y'all somehow managed to go to sleep after that horrifying display. Our dreamless rest takes you. You wonder what awaits you. You awaken, move out your camp, see some adolescents unconscious out in the field, also aging backwards, live adolescent kids.
Oh no.
Wait, are those the zombies?
They are no longer zombies. They are people, but not imagine a body without a soul in it. Technically still alive, but you are not going to interact with it.
Bait wakes up, rubs his eyes, sees you guys staring at this, and is like, oh, what the fuck did I miss this time?
Do I still have control?
I mean, I guess technically, again, they are soulless. So yeah, I guess you are still in control.
Call.
All right, Bones Jones, come.
You see teenagers get up in clothes that are baggy because they don't fit anymore. No emotion in their face, slack-jawed. They are zombies and all but the decay, as it were.
Ooh, I need to figure out how many staff charges I get back to. Kalt is unfazed as long as they work as intended. Unfazed by this.
Jesus.
I would like to start moving.
Yeah.
Awesome. I am full back on my staff charges.
Yeah, I think Bait, after packing up, is going to try to take the lead, being at least sort of familiar with this area.
All right.
And try to beeline us to the Salt Spire. Still generally not chatting with folks.
I'm actually going to try to stay kind of near Bait, just because I assume Bait's staying away from these fucking zombies.
Yeah.
Guys
I'm okay
are
with
such
that.
haters.
Yeah.
Such haters.
Seeing Maeve actually stand close by, I know I haven't done a whole lot to earn your trust, but at the very least, if you stick near me, you won't end up like whatever the hell those things are.
Are you looking good, Bones? Very good, Jones.
I mean, I don't really believe you, but that's, it is what it is. Let's just keep moving.
Very pragmatic.
It is what it is.
After a few hours trek, you make it from the
Shrek?
spire.
Yeah.
Trek.
Oh, did Matt think you said Shrek?
I see.
I see now.
Now that you think of it, they probably took horses or something to get from the castle to the spire, but whatevs. Hiking trip. Anyways, you have the salt spire, and what it is well, it was a salt spire, but now it's got a big tower coming out of it. It is long, needle-like, kind of unnatural looking because it's metal jutting out of this thing really high up, skyscraper type deal. And before you, a set of stairs, the entrance. Yeah, what do you do?
That's a good question.
Would Bait ever have entered a Salt Spire here before the Mage Lords fucked it up?
Yes, you would have been around the Salt Spires. They were
Well, actually, Ryan, because Salt Spires originally, we first featured them in It Came in the Night. You gave me some description for what their purpose on Stoneholm back before whatever. What was the function of a Salt Spire?
In Stoneholm, they were it was the remnants of a giant research facility that the previous inhabitants used to come up with the Stoneholm monster and other technologies, the magical stuff.
That makes sense. And this is probably then some ancestral version of that. Chowder, would Bait recall what the druids might have been using these structures for?
The druids were using it as a temple, a holy place to commune with nature. It was believed that the top of this thing would put you closer to the gods, and in particular the nature god that they worship, whose name is on a page that I cannot find. Fuck me.
Oh, you better rustle those fucking papers, Chowder. I'm so ready.
I can wait indefinitely, especially after that.
Yeah, with Jones and Bones to keep us company, I think we could basically.
I don't know how much longer Jones and Bones have, if being real.
Hopefully they won't shrink too much more, because I think the image of Kalt throwing babies at whatever we're going to end up fighting might be a little drastic.
Not great for his brand.
I don't know. That seems pretty on brand in some respects. I
I'm
don't know if
saying,
I don't know if that wants to be Ryan Mossbarger's brand, the guy that throws babies.
Yeah.
You made your bed, now you sleep in it, Brian.
Yeah, I'm not running for office. I'll be fine.
Not yet.
So originally, this was a temple. It was believed at the top, you were closest to the gods. In particular, Yati, god of nature.
God or goddess?
God,
Unisex.
Right? Unisex. Okay, so
Cool.
the answer is yes.
Both.
Non-binary. So
You all right, Pat?
Non-binary.
there you go.
Bait does whatever the druid equivalent of like a crucifix, Catholics touching the ... like making a cross, whatever the druid version of that is.
Genuflecting?
Well,
Is that what that's called?
Pretty sure.
I was Protestant.
Genuflecting is just the kneeling, not the...
Honestly, let me ask you, what is that? Or what kind of like hand gesture would the druids do that is like that kind of equivalent?
It's because they were such a social people. There are two versions of it. There's the version that you do yourself, which is where you take both hands into fists.
I don't think we need
place
to
them
go into
together and
details with
expand.
that.
No, and expand the fingers forward. But when you're with other people, it turns into like a really super fucking cool handshake. And Bait is like really bummed that Arlen isn't here to do the secret handshake of the druids, and no one here is ever going to know what that looks like.
Bait is used to doing it on his own. Is that what you're saying?
Bait is used to doing his own secret handshake.
Wait, Bait. I know druidcraft, which makes me basically better than you and a druid. So we could both do it together.
I'm really feeling the love here, guys.
I understand that given what happened with Locke recently, I might be the most, like, ethically invalid person, but doing that with you right now, after what I just saw you do to Bones and Jones, would feel so dirty and so against everything I live by.
You know what? You control animals, and humans are just a different type of animal.
I don't turn dead animal bones into rewinding children soulless flesh zombies. I commune with the spirits and the creatures that surround me, and I cherish them while they live, and I respect them when they die. That's not what you're doing.
I mean, that's like your opinion, man.
Yeah, no, it kind of is. And Bait does the press the hands together, stick the fingers out at Kalt, not inviting him to do it, and turns back to the Salt Spire.
Kalt might be like a little bit bummed at this. He kind of thought he had it in.
Maeve would like to open the door.
Let's go.
You go to the door and you open it up. A large creak, as like, I guess they wouldn't be old, would it? No, well, no, they would be, because like the tower itself,
It could still be creaky.
Yeah, they didn't have WD-40 in the
the
back.
tower itself is old and it's very much destroyed. Looking like right after, it looks like right after the explosion. No more time has passed for it. No time has been reversed for it. It is stuck in this one moment, as it were. You enter and like you see like debris floating in the air, a set of spiral stairs ascending way up. It starts off stone and then like turns to steel as like the Mage Lord's editions start to come up. And as you enter the spire, you hear, "It is I, Galagath. Free me." You know what? Let's have fun. Let's all come up with a name for a nature god together.
I'm staring at a gif of Shrek, and it's the only name.
Tangledor.
Tangledor. That would actually be good.
No.
Well, we already know
Tangled.
Tangledor isn't Tangledor your druid man?
Tangledor is just like an alias that Bait pulls out of his ass when trying to lie about who he is.
Tangledor, god of nature. Also like a fairly common name, like, Muhammad or Jesus.
Yeah, Yeah, I was about to say, like, if I'm on an alien planet and trying to, like, lie my way through a city, I'll be like, yes, my name is Jesus Christ, because who the fuck is going to get mad at me? Nobody.
Jesus Christ, he's everywhere.
Okay, well, anyway.
Plenty of people named Jesus, so, you know. Or Esau.
Anyway, yeah, so this was a temple to Tangledor. Fun. Beta's going to be a little horrified at the, gentrification of this place.
Gentrification.
They tried to flip it.
Technically not.
I do have.
Because it's not meant for living. But
So in the pantheon that I created, there is a goddess of the wilds, or a god of the wilds.
What's that?
Yati.
yeah, I actually like that name better. Actually,
You mean
All
you
right.
like that better than Tangledor?
yes.
Yeah, no, that's
More like Tangled Dork.
Okay.
It's YA. It is also an Elven
Well,
one. It's
I
YA
guess I'll
apostrophe
leave.
TI.
Okay. So let's all rewind this. So
Young
that's
Yachty.
easy. Just take the rings off.
Oh my god.